Hello everyone. For today, we will discuss about resolving CSS conflicts. Now, CSS conflicts occurs when multiple CSS rules apply to the same HTML element. This leads to ambiguity about which rules should take precedence. Understanding the hierarchy and specificity of CSS selector is essential to effectively resolve these conflicts. Let's explore various CSS selectors and its declaration, starting with a universal selector and ending with a declaration marked as important using the provided sample rules. First, we have the universal selector indicated by an asterisk or a star. So a universal selector is indicated by an asterisk. So let's see, we provide a color red. So as you can see, the universal selector, marked as asterisk, applies to all elements on the page, setting their text color to red. While this one is powerful due to its broad application, it has the very lowest specificity. So remember, the universal selector has the lowest specificity. This means that more specific rule such as class. So we have more specific rule. Example for this one is we have the classes or we have the ID selectors. This will override our universal selector. In practice, the universal selector is often used for global resets or applying a base style. But because I am cautious with this one because it can lead to unintended side effects due to its broad or the blanket coverage. Next, we have the element selector. So the element selector targets specific HTML elements. In this case, we have, for example, a p tag. It has a higher specificity than the universal selector. So all paragraphs will be blue if we design a paragraph of blue, overriding the universal selector's red color. Element selectors are very useful for applying style to specific tags, but it can be easily overridden again by class ID or inline style, which have a higher specificity. So for example, so if I create a paragraph tag here and make it a color blue, so as you can see, the resolving CSS conflicting relation paragraph is overriding the red color of the overall of the I mean the universal selector. So moving forward, we have also have the ID selector. So if we have an ID selector, for example, of paragraph text and have it a color of, for example, of color is equivalent to aqua. So as you can see, the ID selector targets a single element with the specified ID. It, it makes it highly very specific. So the color blue is overridden, including the color red, because ID is more specific. Here, the paragraph with the ID paragraph text will be colored aqua, overriding both the universal and element selector. Again, ID selectors should be unique within a given document, providing a way to apply styles to specific elements with high specificity. But again, overuse can lead to brittle CSS that's hard to maintain. The next is the class selector. For example, I have a class here of paragraph text. So we have a paragraph text here. So paragraph text. So let's resolve this one. We have paragraph text and I will make it, for example, of color green. So remember, so this will not take effect because we have a paragraph text of ID. So if you are using Visual Studio Code, as you hover on this one, you will see the selector specificity. So the element ID paragraph text has a specificity of 100, while the class paragraph text has a specificity of 010. It means that the ID paragraph text will prevail over the class. So if I comment on this one, so the resolving CSS conflicting declaration paragraph will become green. So since the paragraph text has higher specificity than the class, so this will become color aqua. So we also have pseudo elements. So for example, we design a, for example, the link tag with a color of brown. So as you can see, the sample link is now color brown. But if I include a pseudo class such as a link and make this a color, for example, RGB with this specific color. So now this is more specific than the element selector of A. So again, as you can see, A has a 001 specificity, while A with a pseudo class has a 011. So it means that the anchor tag with a pseudo class of link will prevail over the element tag of A. So how about we make it more specific? For example, we have nested selector, such as this one. How about we have a container, this one, we have a container and A. And let's make it, for example, color black. So when you're using nested selector, so here, any A tag within an element with an ID container will be black. This rule is more specific than standalone class or ID selector because it considers the element's context. Nested selectors are useful for applying based on an element's hierarchy in the document object model, but overuse also can lead to complex and hard to read CSS. So looking at our declaration, if we have an inline style attribute, for example, let's make it here, for example, in the paragraph text. So let me do this one. So inline style means this one. For example, I have a color green in the paragraph. So this means that this will take effect more than the ID or the universal selector or the class direct selector. Let's make it, for example, black. So this will be more powerful than the ID, the element, or any other classes. So if you want the paragraph text, for example, to have the specific rule, so we can have the important declaration such as this one. So the important declaration forces a style to override a specific declaration regardless of specificity. So in this case, for example, I will be doing this on this paragraph. So example, this is black. Let's turn it into brown. So any inline CSS style will override most. So if you want to override this one, this paragraph text, we have also the important, but I'm against this one. This should be only your last resort in making the settings. For example, we have a paragraph and you want to turn it strictly to blue. all you have to do is give it an important property. But again, I'm very cautious on important. And while important can resolve conflicts effectively, it should be used sparingly as it makes CSS harder to maintain and debug, potentially leading to unexpected behavior when overused. So this will be your guide. So 5 points for the important, 4 points for inline style, 3 points for ID, 2 points for class and pseudo class, for element styles, 1 point, and for the universal selector, that would be the 0. And also, there's a note here that last selector code applies. So for example, I have a container A. I'll copy this one. If you have similar settings, so I'll turn this one to yellow. So remember, we have similar settings. So it means that last selector code in applies. If you have similar settings again, so the last selector will be applied instead of its first instance. So understanding CSS specificity, hierarchy, and the implication of different selectors is important in resolving CSS conflicts. By following our principles, this one, and using the important as the last resort only, you can create a robust and maintainable CSS. Remember, the order of declaration also plays a role, with the last rule, such as this one, in the code having the final say if selectors have the same specificity. So thank you very much for listening and see you in the next lecture.